Hi, everybody. We are back. And today we're going to be talking about recruiting and hiring staff. We'll probably focus on the recruiting piece today. That's the number one question that I hear from families is where do I find good people? Right? I
Yes.
mean, so that is, and a lot of it as employers of record, whether you're a person with a disability, a family member, and you're looking to hire, there are a multitude of places that you can begin to approach for that recruitment process to start, right? So the first is word of mouth. So you have your network of families. Maybe you attend a place of worship. Maybe you're in a bowling club, whatever the case may be. Look at your own network first. And
Yes.
yes, anything to add to that? Yeah.
So I know, well, of course, being in rural Georgia, you have to, it is a lot of times who you know. I have always linked into the college just because it is a metropolis in Statesboro, and college students need jobs. It doesn't always work out, and the bad thing is, really, they kind of come and go. But sometimes that's kind of good too for the individual not to get so attached. So, I mean, again, it's like one of those iffy things. You got to pick and choose, and it's just it depends on what you need,
Right.
right, at the
Right.
time. So it's
Right.
it's hard. I mean, it's hard hiring people anyway, honestly. But you're right, church, word of mouth. Sometimes I will scope people out. That sounds crazy, but we'll be out somewhere and I'm like, you can tell somebody like, I don't know that person. Are you hearing me? Like, I want to do something different. And I'm like, do you happen to? What do you like to do? And just like start a conversation with somebody,
That's right. It can be
and you just
spontaneous
never
too. Yeah.
right.
And also, you could ask your support coordinator.
That's
Sometimes they
right.
know of direct support professionals looking for work. You could ask a behavior specialist, uh,
Paraprofessionals,
doctors. That yes, paraprofessionals,
retired teachers.
retired teachers. Yeah,
Yep.
and then the social media too.
Yes,
To the extent that you're comfortable doing that, I see
exactly.
families posting a job description on social media, in some of the waiver groups for families. That could be a place. There's a caregiver group on Facebook, people that are looking for work as caregivers. That's
Yes.
another place. I mean, everything you do is, at your risk online, right? You're going to check everybody out
Yes.
because we don't know what, we want to make sure that there are legitimate candidates, but that's another place. Then you could also go on Indeed, care.com, Craigslist too. In the past, I have used Craigslist a long time ago. So if you do go on those sites, be prepared. You may get inundated by a lot of people that may not be the best match, but you're going to get a reaction more often than not. So you'll have a larger pool on those sites, but be prepared to sift through
Right.
the different candidates. And Missy, you just talked about colleges. Have you ever tried technical colleges or other
I
types of
have put it
schools?
out there before. The funny thing is, the funny stories are sometimes they'll be like, come up to Joshua and his staff or ask me like, how did you get that job? So sometimes it's just we'll be out because they see we're supposedly having fun, which is funny to me because it's just our everyday thing. Because we're laughing and we don't. Joshua's staff doesn't dress like a medical person because we personally don't. We want them to look typical. That's just our personal choice. So we'll talk about that in the process. He wants them to look normal, not that you don't look normal, but dress typical. So they're like, oh, that looks like a fun job. So I think people sometimes have misconceptions of what the job is. So
Right.
that's when sometimes I think it's just that conversation. But yeah, technical schools, sometimes even like when they have career days. This was something that was pretty interesting. Nobody knows what the job really is. So you have to kind of talk about it. Like they're like, how do you get that job? So it's always been like in the past, the CNA or like a sitter. And I'm like, no, it's not really a sitter. So we as parents have to educate people, like you said earlier about in the church. we're by ourselves on Sundays, and I'm like, sometimes we're looking for people to help with Joshua. Like, what would that entail? So it's just really educating people on what we need, which is a different conversation sometimes.
It is absolutely, because it's not a quote traditional job, right?
Exactly.
It's not.
Exactly. Yeah.
You could go at the therapy clinics, other
Yes.
types of clinics and post a position. Mitzi mentioned, and I've also used as well, retired teachers or
Exactly.
paraprofessionals. And sometimes that works for a short amount of time over the summer, or maybe they're retiring or looking to do something different. That's certainly an option. And then do you have someone in mind, right? Do you have someone that maybe it's a part of your family or extended family? And that's another option. There's family caregiver hire. That's something that if you're not able to find individuals, or if that is your preference, that's something that you can also use as well. And I've not utilized that myself, and I can imagine it's just like any other job, right? You need someone that can fulfill the duties, even though they are a part of your family. You still want to make sure that they are able to fulfill the duties of the job. So those are some of the ways and places that you can recruit good people, and it's hard work to find, right? You're going to screen through, a good number of applicants, but that's just like any other job, right? Yeah. And so that is a little bit about where to find qualified candidates. It is sometimes hit or miss, but you gain more experience and confidence, or the more that you do it as an employer, and you're able to see who's a good match and who may not be a good match.
That is right.
Yeah. So that's a little about hiring or actually recruiting. We'll be talking more about different components of self-direct. So thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye. Somebody called me like twice.